Hello, how's everyone doing? My name is Big Black Hick. Coming to you kind of late a little bit. I forgot to upload my week 4, so what I did, I just deleted it, and I decided I'm just going to combine my thoughts on week 4 and week 5 combined. This podcast may be a little bit long, so you got to bear with me here a little bit because I have a whole list of things I just want to cover. At the end, I'm probably just going to just go off out of frustration over the Ravens' loss at home, by the way, to the Cleveland Browns in overtime, where they literally made everyone on that field, especially the tight end and quarterback, look like Pro Bowlers that day. Um, excuse me. Well, basically, I just want to start off with week 4, Thursday night football. The Ravens are right the Steeler country there. And I just want to give a shout out to John Bean. I had the pleasure of watching the game with them at Tuggy's bar in Pasadena, Maryland. And it's good times. Um, Good times. And I honestly felt like we were the two judges from the Muppets show, for those that remember the Muppets. So we watched the game, and we both came to similar conclusions. Obviously, he could speak for himself, but what I got out of the game was that the Ravens were lucky. They were lucky. Uh, the if the kicker didn't wet his pants and missed 2 field goals, if Ben Roethlisberger was on the field, and if his offensive coordinator Todd Haley uh, would stop being too cute for school with the play calling, maybe they could have won the game. Maybe. But conversely, the Ravens did, for a brief moment, look like a football team. They had a good game plan, and they executed the game plan pretty well. Uh, and you had players making just enough plays to win. And the secondary, which, by the way, later in this podcast, they're just going to get the business to the best of my ability. Look like an actual unit. So maybe, maybe I was thinking maybe they found a formula for how to win. Um, I'm just going to move on to some other teams in the AFC North. Kansas City and Cincinnati was week 4, and even though it was ugly, it was probably brutal, but Marvin Lewis, who, by the way, you're welcome, Cincinnati, uh, to receive a good coach, former Ravens defensive coordinator, Super Bowl winning coordinator. He's able to take that talent, and hey, they're for real so far. So far, my hat's off to them. So just keep doing what you got to do to win the AFC North, and hopefully, you guys will advance in the playoffs. I hope that you guys actually stay healthy towards the end of the season because it's all for naught. Um, but they defeated Kansas City. I don't know much about Kansas City. I mean, I know Andy Reid was former Philadelphia head coach, and he's a good coach overall. So, I mean, he's always going to field a pretty formidable team. Let's see here, and maybe I'll just combine their weeks there because that made them 4-0, and then yesterday they just squeaked past Seattle, which I had high hopes that I thought Seattle would actually come out with a victory there. And But I was talking to a good friend of mine, Jim Jolly. He's a good guy, and I was just asking him, what his thoughts were, and for the most part, he just said it was pretty sloppy. But Adam Pac-Man Jones stepped up big, and they wore out Seattle's team to bits. So, um, hey, congrats. Gotta call a spade a spade. They're good. They're 5-0. They're one of, I believe, 6 undefeated teams. You have Green Bay, you have Carolina, you have Atlanta, and I know I'm missing New England. You got New England out there, and I'm probably missing another team. But they're one of a select few that are still undefeated. Cleveland was at San Diego. They decided to go against the grain, um, and start Josh McNown, the journeyman, who's on his ninth team, meaning that you're good, but you're not great. They decided to start him over Johnny Manziel, and from what I saw of Johnny Manziel, he actually looked like a quarterback. He actually looked like an NFL quarterback. There's always things everybody can improve on, but compared to his rookie season, I think he made some pretty good strides and everything. But nonetheless, they started Josh McDowell, and they lost. Enough said for the most part. And so, entering this game, I read that they were at the bottom five in rushing yards, and they were in the bottom five in rush defense. So in my head, I was thinking, all right, well, at least we can run the ball to the point where maybe we'll play action, go over the top, maybe a dump off to a tight end to keep them honest, and then you just keep running the ball. Well, to be fair, I saw parts of that game. I was working. I was working at a sports bar and stuff, and I just did not have the fair opportunity to really sit down and watch, other than the middle of the third quarter to the fourth quarter. But I videotaped it and I rewatched the game when I went home. So, well, there's some things that need to be discussed. Um, and I want to get it off my chest before Pittsburgh Steelers play their Monday Night Football game. I'm just going to just go right off the list. I'm just going to go piece by piece. Well, let me start with the positives. Here's what you got going for you, Ravens. I honestly thought your linebacking core was okay till this past Sunday. They made that tight end Barnage look like Gronkowski. Every 5 seconds I saw C.J. Mosley slip. And after you slip 4 or 5 times, pretty soon you got to come to the point that you just didn't have a good game, and that's okay in a weird way, because this dude played about 23 games. So if that's your worst game out of 23 games, I can give you a little room, because I know you can only get better. I know you can, because you are an actual player that do make plays. Outside linebackers are pretty thin. Dumerville went out, and you also had Courtney Upshaw, which so far I haven't seen anything from him. He just disappears. And I'm not saying he needs to be a world beater here, but you got to make a presence known that you can't run the ball on this side. So, Justin Babin, I want you to understand something, Justin Babin. I know you may not be the brightest dude, but you should know that there's this thing called a line of scrimmage, and you're not supposed to cross it until the ball is hiked. In fact, I'm watching the entire defensive line. It seemed like every other play, someone's head was in the neutral zone. That bothers me. That bothers me. Brandon Williams, he had a pretty challenging day, because the Cleveland center, Alex Mack, he's pretty good. So you're gonna have that day. But the defensive line wore down. Literally at the end of the game, they were just tired. Let's see here. Other positives: offensive line looked solid. They're pretty solid for the most part. Eugene Moreau actually decided to get off the couch and get out the ice tub and actually show some heart and play a game, and everything. So that got shored up. They made the run game look pretty good, for the most part. So that was good. Pass blocking wise, they're not really built for pass blocking per se. And in addition to that, or should I say conversely to that, Cleveland wasn't really blitzing a whole lot. They were just basically the outside linebackers were just crashing down on every play. So you can tell they probably watched that Denver game and just took their playbook. Um, Running backs, hey, Forset's coming along pretty well, but we need to be trucking out 3 running backs. And no offense, Buck Allen, you're showing me some promise, but you're not there yet. You're just not there. But I do like what I see of you. Just keep running hard, keep learning, keep getting better. Tight ends, I have no qualms with them. They're young. So far, everything I've seen from them, I see a group of people I can work with. I think Nick Boyle's tough-minded. I like Crockett Gilmore's attitude. I want to see more. I want to see them utilize Max Williams better than what I'm seeing so far. Now to the negatives, and I'm going to save Joe Flacco there for the most part. I'm just going to save him just for later a little bit because he's in a special category. Negatives. Where should I go first? I think I'll go with the lesser of the 2 evils. This wide receiving core, just outside of Steve Smith Sr., maybe Campanaro, other than health issues, is just dog meat. They're terrible. They're terrible. I don't understand how hard is this. Okay, you should be able to run a 9 route, which is deep pattern. You should be able to run a quick slant. You should be able to run a comeback. Those 3 pass routes should be automatic. You have a quarterback that can make every single throw, but it's hard to throw when you can't get open. You're lazy. You're not learning. You're not getting better. You got to show me a reason why you should wear a Ravens uniform. Okay? Marlon Brown, you're 6'5" and you still can't get open. Explain that to me. Explain why you cannot get open. Okay? You've been on the team for 3 seasons. You still can't get open. Waller and Butler, I understand you're young, but it's more about understanding spacing, understanding technique, really taking the opportunity to watch film and studying the defense that's going up against you. Kamar Aiken, you're just inconsistent. Just get more consistent. You have some good hands, but you got to be more consistent in what you do. I think you probably run the better route among most people, but it's not good enough. Wide receiving core, it's just not good enough. And the wide receiving core mixed in with the group of tight ends, so far, that recipe. Unless one of those tight ends start popping a little bit. By the way, side note, at the end of this season, I'm releasing Marlon Brown because if you reach your peak already, I can't use you. I'd rather get in a bunch of young cats like Butler and Waller and just give them every opportunity to improve for the most part. I guess the actual evil on the team so far is the secondary. You have Ladarius Webb, who came into camp out of shape. 2 bad knees, and you came into camp out of shape. How do you come into camp after signing a big contract out of shape? I mean, aren't you trying to prove something? Aren't you trying to prove that you actually belong in this league? You came in out of shape. On the other side, Jimmy Smith, be honest, you're the only dude that's actually, you give me hope. Because we were patient with you for 3 years. The safeties are just terrible. Will Hill, other than defending Graham, what else can you do? Because Graham won't be coming down here for a while because he's on Seattle's team. Kendrick Lewis, do you understand this thing called a backpedaling? Do you understand coverages? Do you understand communication? You're supposed to be the smart one among all these people. Who else? Terrence Brooks, he came off an injury and still I haven't seen enough of you to really criticize you, other than you just look lost. You look so lost, and you think that since you were injured, you should be watching film study and trying to like improve your knowledge of the game. Um, did I miss anyone? Did I miss anyone? Matt Elam, he's the best player.
It is sad because he was terrible last year. And what does that say about the group that I'm watching right now? You guys don't communicate. You guys can't play man coverage. You can't play zone coverage. You can't play a basic cover two. You can't play man free. And Dean Pease looked at this going, I don't even know what to do with this group because I got 7 guys that are just terrible. Let's see here. Should I deal with Joe Flacco now or later? I think I'm going to deal with him now for a little bit. I think I'm going to deal with him now since he's on top of my mind. Joe Flacco, listen, I've been your number one supporter among many people, but I've been your number one supporter. I get you. I get you in terms of, listen, you're a smart guy. It's probably not hard for you to understand the playbook. It's probably not hard for you to execute passing plays and everything. But for Christ's sake, when you do a play fake, a play action fake, can you like sink your hips to make it seem like you're trying to hand off the ball to deceive the defense before you come up firing? That's number one. Number two, you better understand quick that you ain't got nobody helping you. Maybe Crockett Gilmore from time, Nick Boyle from time to time, Justin Forsett from time to time, Buck Allen once or twice every blue moon. You have no one help. You don't have a supporting group, so you better get through your head that you're gonna need to take some ownership and make some plays on your own. And I'm not saying you need to pull a Michael Vick or a Cam Newton route. I'm just saying like make quicker decisions. Get the ball out of your hands early because your line can't pass block. Your line 2 seconds. 1, 2, boom, go. Okay. Also, another thing. How about this? When you study your opponent, how about you start throwing out some dummy calls or start changing some routes to suit the needs of your team and make them feel a little bit more comfortable that you know what you're doing sometimes, because there are times where I'm watching it and he's looking, and in my head I'm like, why are you still looking? They're not open. Run. Chuck it out of bounds if you have to. I don't care at this point. Now, I do understand you. I'm going to meet you halfway. The play calling from week 1 to week 5 has been inconsistent at best. Poo-poo at worst. Game management, play calling, all these things is going to be on the coaching staff. They're telling you to do things, they're telling you to do things that may not be the best decisions. So you got to be a little bit of the smarter guy in the room and say, "Oh, this play does not work. It's not going to work against this defense. So I'm going to check to a quick slant or something that's more promising." Okay. 2nd and 1, go deep. Okay, understand. 2nd and 1. So therefore, on 3rd and 1, you just run a power play and so forth. Trustman, no, I haven't been a fan of him. Really. I kind of, at this point, just I don't know. I'm just frustrated as to what he sees on that field. What made you call that play? What made you call a deep pattern on 3rd and 1? Okay, they weren't pitching. The defensive line, when you watch a team, the defensive line was not pinching where you couldn't run up the middle. And on top of that, Joe Flacco's 6'4". So you're telling me the dude can't like hike the ball, leap over, or lean forward. He leans forward. That's automatic first down. The coaching staff, and I'll put it like this. I've always criticized Harbaugh for a couple of things. I think that he's too emotional. I think that he's a terrible game manager. I don't think at times, he doesn't seem like a difference maker on the field. And the problem is he surrounds himself with drones. He surrounds himself with people that are less intelligent, it seems like. Did you guys hear? My phone just rang.
I'm going to let this thing blow by here for a moment. No? Okay, good deal. Anyway, Harbaugh, I'm going to repeat it, so, sue me. Um, Harbaugh seems like he surrounds himself with people that are not as smart as he is, or maybe I'll just throw it out there, just dumber than him. And so that's probably why you get what you get on the field. You get sloppy gameplay. You get, first of all, the people below you are not smart. The players as a team are not smart, and that's why you're 1-5. Period.